Yo, what is up, guys? This is RizzyPOW, and this is our week 9, I think, of the TBU. This is our first playoff match. Today we're going to be going up at Ashton Kai Erik, a pretty good friend of mine. Make sure you go check out his channel, and this is going to be my little team builder part. If you guys want to skip the actual battle, then look in the description, and it'll be all pretty cool and stuff. But yeah, you should look at my team because I will love you forever if you do. Yeah, so if you guys want to know what my roster is, it is Megaladios, Clefable, Jirachi, Suicune, Nidoqueen, Snorlax, Tornadus Eye, and Houndoom. And then Erik's squad is Mega Altaria, Zapdos, Milotic, Reuniclus, Fortress, Piloswine, Amoonguss, Hitmonlee, and Liepard. He actually made a bench swap this week. He took Hitmonlee off the bench for something, and he did that probably because it almost swept me last time, but I don't honestly think it is very good versus my team. I think it is alright. Like, I have many checks to it, like Megaladios, like to any variant pretty much, like Clefable, although it does get Poison Jab, but still I can take one pretty well from full health. I have Lucario, which I didn't bring last time versus him, but I'm going to bring this time, that I can just E-speed it and it'll die if it is taking a little bit of damage. So overall, I don't think it's very good. It did almost sweep me last time, but I kind of didn't prepare for it as much as I should have. But this time I do think that it won't really do much versus me. It might late game, it could, which is kind of scary. But I think I've devised a pretty cool team for Erik over here. So just looking at his roster, I decided that Curselax could easily come this game. Last time I brought a Banded Lax, and it ended up getting burned by a flamethrower, which really sucked because it couldn't really do anything after that. But this was pretty much my win condition. I have returned because I don't want to paralyze my Milotic. I'd rather Toxic it with something else. And yeah. This thing can set up on like a lot of his team. I have Chople Berry for Hitmonlee because I always run Chople Berry because I don't know. I can't let the Chople Berry go. And what the fuck did I do? Whatever. Yeah, there we go. Fixed it because I'm amazing at life. But yeah, I have a little bit of speed right here just to to outpace Reuniclus in case I want to, and I can maybe hit up with the return and stuff like that. Also, versus Erik's team, I was pretty scared because Reuniclus is a huge threat. Calm Mind Reuniclus is very scary, but I did bring Unaware Clef last time, and he's only brought on Calm Mind Reuniclus once, and I think that was week 2. So I don't think he'd honestly do it again. Just like there's very low chances because he hasn't brought it that often. And I do have an Unaware Clef that I didn't actually bring Unaware this time, but I'll go into that why later. So I don't necessarily think he'll bring it. If he does, it'll be pretty annoying. But I do have something on my Magikarp Clef for it. So we'll talk about that in a bit. One thing that I also wanted to do was he did have like Haze Milotic last time. The only things that can actually stop Lax is like Encore, Liepard, Haze Milotic, stuff like what else is on his team that could stop it? Hitmonlee, of course, that can just hit it hard. He's probably gonna be Reckless this time. I was expecting like a Scarf variant, but he might bring the Lychee Berry variant again. And then also, yeah, and also if he does bring Mega Altaria, he's probably going to bring Double Edge to hit Clefable really hard. So he's going to take a lot of damage from recoil from this if he wants to hit me. This thing is now there just for his Milotic to Toxic Zapdos, maybe Toxic Altaria, just Toxic everything. And yeah, it doesn't beat Reuniclus. Reuniclus can set up on it. I'm going to switch into Clefable 100% on the time on Reuniclus. Now, last time he did lose to an Unaware Clefable, so I'm really expecting him to he might be Calm Mind Reuniclus again and try to deal with Clefable another way by Toxicing or something, and I really don't want to risk that. So I went with Magikarp and I went with Encore. So this is I'm going to switch into Reuniclus all the time. He also might carry on Toxic Reuniclus for this. He might potentially do that. But I'm carrying Magikarp this time. I have Encore now, so if he does try to set up Calm Minds up on me, I will outspeed it and I will Encore it. I have a little bit more speed this time just so I outspeed Max Speed Reuniclus because he brought that versus me last time. It was a speed type, but now I 100% outspeed it, which is pretty cool. And then this is just a Calm Mind variant. It doesn't really hit Amoonguss that hard. If he brings Amoonguss, he really likes AV Amoonguss, so he might bring that for like Nidoqueen. It doesn't hit it very hard, but I can Encore it into like Clear Smog and then go out into Jirachi or something like that, or even like Lucario and set up on it. So it's not that scary. Spore is kind of scary. I do have lax for my Spore switching, so there's that. My next mon is Lucario, so I finally brought Lucario versus him. Just a Swords Dance set, pretty good versus him. I can potentially set up on something, and I have Encore on Clefable as well, so if I ever Encore something into a certain move, I can set up on that, which is pretty cool as well. With Curse Lax, I can do that. I like Encore on this set a lot this week. And this just hits his team very hard. E-Speed helps me revenge heal Mega Altaria after he's taking like a Moonblast, after taking some damage with Snorlax, maybe after some toxic damage or stuff like that. And there is that close combat just hit his team very hard. Ice Punch for like Amoonguss and Zapdos. So there's that. This mon right here is a really similar set that I brought last time. Now I brought a physical Nidoqueen this time with the Shuckle Berry because Mega Altaria is very scary versus my team. A D-Dance one with Double Edge, Earthquake, and Roost is extremely scary. So this is going to be my check for that. I do have the Shuckle Berry, so I can take any Earthquake from it and stuff like that. And I'm physical this time because it does really well. I highly doubt he's going to bring Conning Guard Altaria. It just doesn't make... I'm like, even if he does, I can deal with it other ways, so it's not that scary. And I just have physical to be able to deal with like his switch-ins. He might bring AV Amoonguss. If he does bring Amoonguss, he really likes AV Amoonguss, so I can hit that up with an Ice Punch. It's going to hit harder than Ice Beam because he is AV. And then maybe I can hit Milotic a little bit harder with Thunder Punch depending on his investment, and just stuff like that. It's just kind of nice. Also hits Hitmonlee a bit harder, so don't get into a bad situation with that like I did last time. Yeah, and then my last mon is the Mega Latios. So this is the weirdest Mega Latios I've ever brought in yet. So it just has 3 attacks plus Defog, and this is the first time I'm not running Roost. This is the first time I'm not running Stab on Mega Latios, and the first time I'm running Hazard Removal this entire league. So actually, originally I was Dragon Pulse over Shadow Ball, and actually Trev gave me the idea to run Shadow Ball over Dragon Pulse, and I ended up doing that because it just hits his team very hard. I don't hit stuff like Hitmonlee very hard, but overall Hitmonlee, I have stuff to deal with it. I have this to maybe take a hit and then hit it up with the return. I have this that takes a hit easily. I have this that takes it, and this I can still damage it, and if I get a Shadow Ball off in it, it's in E-Speed range anyway, so I'm not that scared of Hitmonlee. But it can be kind of scary. So the plan with this is probably going to be my lead versus him. He did bring Spike Stacking Fortress last time, and that's why I want Defog, because I don't want to get it with a bad situation. I'm not bringing Houndoom this time, so he could get spikes up, and that could be very scary. He also doesn't usually run like 0 IVs in Spadef, so that's very good for me because this Thunderbolt and Shadow Ball is not going to put him Stat Berry range. So the plan is, if he does bring Fortress, I'm going to lead off with Latios. He's probably the only Fortress set that makes sense versus me is probably the Custom Bleed. Plus he always brings, like, he brings Custom Bleed a lot, which is a very good set. I think it's probably the best Fortress, one of the best Fortress sets. I don't like Fortress that much overall in League, but I can hit up with a Thunderbolt, and then I can probably Shadow Ball him as he tries to switch on Reuniclus or something, just to switch up moves. He might just stack Fortress, but in case he does switch on Reuniclus, I want to cash that thing on the switch in. It will definitely 2 KO Reuniclus. Yeah, unless he's like AV Max Bidef or something like that, it's gonna definitely kill that thing. And this thing just hits his team very hard. He's very weak to Bolt Beam in general. That's why I have Bolt Beam on this as well, but physical Bolt Beam. And yeah, it doesn't have any Roost, which kind of sucks. But I think this set is going to do a lot of work versus Erik. Did a lot versus in my mocks. It did a little bit in my mocks. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the actual battle. Peace. Yo, what is up, guys? This is RizzyPOW, and we are here the actual battle up against Erik, Ashen to guys. So, if you guys have not seen the little team that I just showed you guys, then go look in the beginning of the video. But, yeah, this is a team that we did bring. Also in the video, I did forget to talk about some of the mons that he did not end up bringing, like Liepard. Didn't really focus on that, but I really thought the Liepard was going to come. I did have Lucario that was like a really safe switch into it almost every time, unless he did T-Wave, but it could switch in. Liepard was just good because it kind of destroyed my my Fairy Dragon Steel Core that I usually bring, which is Jirachi, Clefable, Mega Latios, and because he gets Gunk Shot and then Dark Stab. So I didn't really talk about that, but I felt that I was pretty good with Lucario, and then it was pretty scary. I thought he was going to bring it overall, but he didn't end up bringing it, so as you can see right over here. So, I'm sorry I'm a bit tired right now. It's actually really late at night, but he did bring the Reuniclus, he did bring the Mega Altaria, he brought Zapdos, Hitmonlee, Milotic, and then the Fortress. So the Hitmonlee right over there, it almost swept me last time. I'm expecting it to be probably a different variant because last time, like, there's no way he was going to bring the same variant as last time, although he might have, but I'm sure he probably expected Lucario to come this time since it did come last time, and, you know, he probably expected me to expect that set, so I was expecting this one maybe to be Scarf or maybe some other set. He brought in Mega Altaria, probably D-Dance with Double Edge, and then we do see Fortress, so I'm just going to lead off with Mega Latios, expecting that to be a Custap lead. So let's get right into the battle. I do lead off with my Mega Latios, as he does. You're going to see right here, he does lead off with that Fortress, so pretty much what I expected because he loves Custap Berry Fortress, and since he usually does not have Zero Spit F in EVs, I am safe to go for a Thunderbolt, expecting him not to have it like he usually does, so it won't knock him down to his Custap range, and then he can get an Explosion off or something. So I'm going to go for the Thunderbolt right here, as that gets a good chunk of damage off. He does get his Rocks up, I can defog that later. But right here, I'm just going to go for the Shadow Ball. I don't want him to get an Explosion off or something like that. And there's also a chance that he might switch out into his Reuniclus right here, as he does. So this is perfect. I'm going to get a good, like, 60% off on this. And right here, I really want to go for the Thunderbolt because I really expected my Milotic to come in, but it was just, like, there was no reason. I could just go for Shadow Ball, plus I get to gauge, like, what kind of Milotic set he is, how much, like, damage is it going to do if he's more defense invested or a spit def invested or something like that. And we do go for the Shadow Ball right over here, and we're going to see how much it does. That really does not do that much, and he got the lefties, so this thing is just a really annoying thing, and I don't like it, man. It's pretty scary. It's scary. It's actually not scary. It's a fucking Milotic. Milotic's shit. JK, Milotic is alright. But I'm gonna switch it right here. I'm expecting the Toxic right here, as I do reveal that I am the Magikarp thing. So this Toxic is not gonna hurt me at all, and this is perfect. Pretty much exactly what I expected to happen, and it's really nice to have Magikarp in this situation. So he's gonna go for the Skull. That's fine. I'm just gonna get a Calm Mind up. And right here, I do expect him to go for the Haze because Haze my luck, which is probably what he was going to bring if he was bringing Milotic versus me. So I was expecting the Haze right here, so I go for the Encore. And what this Encore allows me to do is I could be able to set up completely, but I didn't want him to switch into his Fortress on my Calm Mind. And if it's offensive Fortress, it's going to outspeed me and hit me up with a Heavy Slam or something, and that would be really, really bad. So what I'm going to do, he's going to go for the Haze right here. I'm going to go for the Encore. Now, I could obviously try to set up more Calm Minds on this, but I'm really expecting the Fortress to come here. I don't have Flamethrower, so I'm just going to actually switch right out after this to go and get a safe switch out into my Jirachi. So if he does go out into his Fortress right here, I can get a Fire Punch off. If he does stay in, he's going to be forced to go for Haze, so he can't get a Scald Burn on me. So this is a very safe switch out into Jirachi, and I can sub up on his Milotic pretty easily. Scald won't break my sub, although he's locked in Encore, so he couldn't even do anything anyway. And right here, I'm actually going to go for the Fire Punch. I'm going to get my leftovers, bring me back to full, actually, which is pretty damn cool. We're gonna get that Fire Punch off and take out his Fortress, which is pretty damn cool. I keep on saying pretty damn cool. It's like my phrase, man. It's my phrase. Now he's going to go into this, and I was kind of confused because I can just try flinching it down. There's no reason not to try flinching it down. It's going to be a 2 or 3 hit KO. Like, there's no reason for me not to try and do it because it's in my favor to do it. And if he does get a recover off, then I'll just switch out into Clefable. Like, there's no reason not to do it. So I just went for the Iron Head right there. And he realizes that he could easily get flinched down. That was probably when he really needed that thing. So he switches out into his Zapdos, and I'm going to get an Iron Head off on that thing. Going to do almost nothing. We do see he's a bit more offensive, which is pretty cool. And I'm actually going to go into my Mega Latios because it's a pretty safe switch in, as he actually goes for the Thunderbolt. And actually, I just watched his team analysis, and he actually said he was supposed to have Discharge instead of Thunderbolt, and that could have paralyzed me, which would have actually sucked. But he did not have Discharge, so that's really nice. So right here, I'm actually going to go for the, I think I go for the Defog right here. I knew his Milotic was coming in. There's no way he's going to be competitive this match, but So I get like easy defog. I really wanted to go for the Thunderbolt right here, but he was really Spadef invested, so that's why I'm gonna 2-hit KO him. And like I just went for defog. Maybe Thunderbolt was the best place, so I would force him to recover and at least waste 1 PP of recover, but it doesn't really matter. And I'm just going to switch into Clefable. It's a really safe switch into this, and I can then proceed to softball up or something like that. Right here, what do? I think that I softballed up. He goes out into his Altaria right here. Yeah, I do softball up, and I know that this thing could easily carry double edge, and that will easily 2-hit KO me. So that's what I'm expecting, a double edge right here, as he actually doubles out. I could have, he could have gone for double edge, and I could have gone for Moonblast, and I would have done a ton of damage to him, but I really needed this thing to stay healthy for his Reuniclus, because I don't know exactly what set he is, if he's Calm Mind, or if he's Trick Room. I'm going to be fucked if I let this Clefable get weakened, so I can't do that. Now I'm going to go Nidoqueen. I made a misplay right here. I go for the rocks, and last time I was really paranoid that he would have Extrasensory, although this time I kind of was, I mean, I knew it was an option, but I didn't really necessarily expect it, and that was kind of my fault. I knew that Zapdos got Extrasensory, and I really thought he was going to bring it to me last time, but he didn't bring it to me last time, and I kind of forgot about it a little bit this time, so it was kind of a misplay, but it's fine. I do end up getting my rocks up, so the reason why that sucks is because now I'm a lot weaker to his Mega Altaria, because I can't really take a +1 EQ anymore. Now right here, I'm going to go for the Thunderbolt on the Zapdos. I really expected him to go into Milotic, but he just stays in, and now I'm going to go for the Ice Beam because he's in range of Ice Beam, as he thinks that I have Defog, Thunderbolt, and Shadow Ball, so he's expecting my last move to be Roost. So what Erik does right here, I didn't understand the play at first, but he ended up explaining it to me, and he goes out into my Altaria. I clicked Ice Beam right here, so I'm getting this free kill right here, which is great for me, and that Altaria is going to go down, but yeah, I got, he thought I would have Roost, because I've never not brought on Roost before. I've also never brought Defog. I brought Latios that I've never brought before, like something like this before, so it kind of made sense that he didn't, he realized that, but, yeah, so he's going to go for the Hitmonlee. I decided to sack off my Latios right here because I want to scout out to make sure that he's Scarf or something, see what he locks himself into. And I'm going to go on Nidoqueen, and I'm actually going to be able to get a kill. So I'm actually going to go for the Thunder Punch right over here because I expected him to try and go out into his Milotic. As he does go to Milotic, and since this is more Spadef invested, Thunder Punch is going to be doing a ton of damage. And that crit didn't really matter. It depends on his speeds here. I probably outsped his Milotic with my speed investment anyway, so that would have been a 2-hit KO. So that probably didn't matter, but I don't know exactly. I should have actually made sure and looked at the team builder because I just watched it to make sure. But now he actually goes for the Earthquake right here, and the Shuckle Berry is coming through once again against the Hitmonlee. I'm going to take that, and I'm going to hit it up with a Poison Jab, and that thing is going down. So that is amazing. Hitmonlee is down. That thing almost swept us last time. I don't think he even, no, he did get a kill versus us this time, but that's fine. Now right over here, he is going to go out into Zapdos, and that is fine with me. I'm just going to sack off Nidoqueen. There's no reason to keep it around. Doesn't really do anything. I could have tried to preserve like a 6-0 or 5-0, but there was really no point because this is playoffs, and the differential literally does not matter. I didn't want it to be a agility set. Actually, use leftovers. You couldn't be life over, but like, I don't know. There's no reason for me to keep it around at that range of health. So he's going to actually roost up right here. His only Mons left are Reuniclus, which is very, very low right now after taking a Shadow Ball from Mega Latios and an Iron Head from my Jirachi. So he only has those two Mons left, and the Clefable is definitely going to be both of those. He's at such a low amount of health that a +1 Moonblast is going to kill him. I do outspeed. He's definitely a more defensive variant this time. So right now I pretty much have the game in the bag. Even if he gets crits versus me, he cannot win because I beat his Zapdos and Reuniclus with this Calm Mind Clef. Now let's talk a little bit about the match, about the Nidoqueen getting hit by the Extrasensory and the Altaria. So after that I got hit by an Extrasensory, I was definitely really weak to Altaria. I did have Waste or Ventula. I did end up getting my rocks by taking Extrasensory, so he was already forced to take 25% when he came in with Altaria, which was really nice. Which means I only need to get a little bit more chip damage to make sure that he to make sure that he got killed by E-Speed from Lucario, and I was adamant with a Life Orb. So there was that. Like I think it was like, I don't remember, maybe 40-50% I need to get to. I might be way wrong on that. Plus he had double edge, so he would keep on damaging himself and put him in range of E-Speed from Lucario. So overall, I felt that I would be able to deal with the Mega Altaria. It would have been very, very difficult to deal with it, but I think that I could have definitely done it. Plus, I had my Jirachi was at a good amount of health. It would have been able to eat up an EQ. I could have gotten Iron Head off on it, or a Toxic, whatever I felt like doing. So I definitely felt like I could have done that pretty well, dealt with it. And also, when he switches Altaria on an Ice Beam, if I did Thunderbolt right there, he was in range of Ice Beam anyway after he Mega Evolved, and I was kind of just sacking that thing off anyway. Not sacking Mega Latios off just yet. I was just trying to get a ton of damage off on his team. If it stayed alive, it was fine. If it didn't, it wasn't that big of a deal. I just want to get damage off. That was the whole plan with it, to lead off with it and get a ton of damage off, and that's pretty much what it did. So Mega Latios actually did a lot this game, and this is one of the games I was really happy that I had a Mega Latios on my team. Clefable obviously did work. Clefable is amazing. Jirachi didn't really do much, but Subtoxic did a lot versus his team overall. Snorlax and Lucario didn't even end up getting to go out. Also with him having D-Dancing with Lucario, not Lucario, D-Dancing with Mega Altaria, I did have a Snorlax right there, and he did have double edge, so he'd be taking more recoil damage if he did choose to do that. And I could have also potentially been able to revenge kill with Lucario, is what I think. So I feel like I would have been able to handle the Mega Altaria even if that happened, but it would definitely be a bit more difficult. And I don't know if I necessarily have lost the game to it, but it would have definitely been a lot closer. Overall, I think this was a 4-0. So not that close, but it could have definitely been a lot closer. Erik did bring like extrasensory Zapdos, which kind of threw me off, and that could have been really bad for his Mega Altaria overall. So overall, I hope you guys enjoyed this match. We are now in the playoffs, so we're moving on to semifinals, and we're going to be going up against Skyrander, which is pretty crazy. We faced him week 1, and he was one of our 3 losses that we've had so far. He did 5-0 us. He completely annihilated us, and there's a lot of things that I like. This match is going to be very scary. I'm terrified of it, and I hope that somehow I can come on top, because then we will move on to finals, and then we have a chance to become the champion, and that's what I'm about. The whole point of joining the league, I want to win it all. I want to become the champ, and you know, I'm amazing, so I deserve it. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.